All right, guys, welcome back to Raw Honey. I'm your girl Brandy, and today we got our special guest. Lauren is filling in for the network queen. Lauren is a good friend of mine, and she listens to our podcast on a regular. So why not bring my girl in to give us some feedback and hear her insight on what's going on in her world? So welcome, Lauren, to the
Thank you
podcast.
for
Hey,
having
girl.
me. I'm so
Of
excited to
course, of
help you
course.
out here and fill in.
Thank you, girl. And she gave me a good topic. So y'all are gonna be ready to hear what our topic is because Lauren came through with a good one. But we're gonna start off with our honey jar. So we're gonna keep our same routine and we're gonna pull from the honey jar and I'll let my guest go first.
Okay.
Pull us a good one, girl.
Gosh, I'm scared.
Don't be scared. All right.
Okay. It says, do you shower in the morning or night?
Oh, okay. What are you doing? When do you shower?
I shower when it's appropriate. So if that's morning and night, or if
Oh,
it's night
okay.
or morning, or
So
just
it's just how you feel. You
right.
shower based off how you feel. Like if you have one of those long nights, you just jump into bed and you out and you wake up in the morning and shower or
It depends.
okay.
For the most part, like it should be consistently night
Yeah.
showering. Um, but I don't know, it just depends. I guess.
So we have a rule in our house. You cannot get in the bed unless you unshowered. Like it ain't no if, ands, or buts. Like even if you go outside for like 15 minutes and you think, mm-mm.
Oh yeah, if I set foot outside, I have to shower. And same rule in our house because our kids have strict bedtime routine.
Yeah,
Showering is like, so my kids are actually so crazy about it. Like they won't even sit on their beds
yeah,
unless
that
they're
part.
clean and showered.
Hmm.
So like they get upset if like they have friends over and they like sit on their bed and they're
Like
like, don't sit
no,
on my bed. They like
mm-mm.
have to be clean to get in bed. Cause I used to tell them like this lie that um they're gonna get, like, bit
Not a
by
lie.
bed bugs if they don't shower every night, and they're gonna, like, wake up with, like, all these bed bug bites
Oh my
if they don't
gosh.
shower every night. So, that's how I, like, parent, by fear.
Oh my god, the things we do as parents. All right, well, let me see what I'm gonna pull out of this jar. Let me see. Let me get a good one. Okay, let's see. Ooh, can opposites truly last? Can an opposites have a strong relationship? Hmm, that's a good question because I feel like my personality is almost opposite to every other sign out there. I'd be like, yeah, no, because we're so rigid as people.
Mhm. Right, I agree. I think, when you're too much alike is when there is something
Clash, yeah.
again, like, you have too much just of the same energy, you need that kind of, like, balance to, like, offput,
Yeah.
your
Have you
energy.
ever dated anyone that you were the same sign or very similar to?
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
No, I mean, I only don't have a long dating history. So
Kudos to you, girl. Kudos to you. Everybody can't say that. Okay. I agree. I think I don't know if I've ever dated anyone that was completely like me. So I think opposites do attract and they
mhm,
can last. Yeah.
mhm.
It's just about setting those clear boundaries and communication up front. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, we undid our little honey jar. We're gonna jump into our hot topics now. Let me tell you, baby, I have some tea. What did you think about the whole Tiger Woods thing? Like, why isn't this man license revoked already? Like, he just be
No,
jumping behind the wheel, just reckless driving and everything. Like, I'm just trying to figure out what is up with that.
girl, I mean, personally, I'm like a Uber user. You
Yeah.
know that, like,
Yes.
no
Yes.
matter what I'm doing, where I'm going, like, I would rather be chauffeured everywhere. So to have the money
Yeah.
and to not take advantage of that
Isn't
is
that
just,
crazy?
it's just ridiculous. Like, there's no reason for it. And like, someone, he's lucky no one is like, has anybody been
No,
like
I don't think
seriously?
he's injured anyone,
Like,
which is good.
I mean, thank God. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely, it's like, come on.
Like,
You have the money, and I heard, that the reason why he doesn't hire a driver is because he wants, like, his privacy. But girl, there's, like, ways to, like you can get, like, a Sprinter van, like, be like, put a bu like, you have enough money to, like,
what kind
solve
of
that
privacy
issue.
does he need to where he can't have
Exactly.
an Uber driver drop his ass off?
Like,
That,
Kardashians, like, have people sign NDAs all the time, like, just, drop some
hmm,
paperwork, like,
that's
I don't
interesting.
understand. Don't
Well,
get it.
well, Tiger, I need you to stay from behind that wheel, like, or somebody take his license,
Yes,
one of the two,
please.
because man, if it was just someone average, yeah, no, that wouldn't have already worked. Okay, well, what you know? You got some tea for me, girl?
Not really. I mean, I've been working a lot, girl. Like,
So
um,
you don't be keeping up with the Kardashians or nobody?
well, I did watch the majority of the Lamar Odom
Okay,
documentary. So,
I
what did you
did
think
too.
about that?
I binge watched it. So, it was one of those rainy days and I was like,
Mhm.
okay, let me see what this is about. Um, I was trying to figure out like who is telling the story. Was he telling the story? Was it coming from his perspective or was it coming from someone else's? And that I'm glad he was really honest and
Yeah,
open and allowed us to really kind of see how that lifestyle can kind of take you down a dark, dark, dark path. It was really kind of sad.
I think for any athlete, just in general, just the headspace that you have to get into just to be like
Yes.
on and perform and at that level
Yeah.
could be an extreme amount of pressure. Just, and I see it from like my younger kids, but
Yeah.
when you're making that's your living, that's like a different kind of pressure. So,
And you're always in front of the camera. And then he put
right,
another layer of on top of the camera in front of
right.
that. Yeah, that was hard. But he wanted that. He wanted that lifestyle though.
Anything, I was just like amazed at like how good of a person Chloe
Yeah. Yeah.
is. The one thing I will say, like, yeah, she came off really good, but like she didn't have to mention his dad and like what happened in the hospital about him wanting to take him
Oh,
off
yeah,
life
yeah,
support. I was
yeah.
like, that could have been like taken out because like he's passed away, right? His
I'm
dad's
not familiar with Lamar's really lifestyle and like
mm-mm,
history or anything, so I don't really know because I didn't even know his father was an addict. When you're in those type of documentaries and circumstances like that, they want you to give the juice. They want you
yeah,
to get some drama, baby.
true.
They want you to
That's why they
spice
give
it
him the
up.
big
And
bucks.
you know she used to that. She know
Yeah.
how to spice it up. So yeah. So yeah.
You could have went in there and just been like, yeah, I came in and I did what I had to do. You don't have to say all that about it.
Well,
But
I'm
like,
glad she did say, at a certain point too, she had to walk away. She had to walk away
right,
from it. And it was like, she truly still loved him, but
right.
she had to choose herself and her circumstances first. And kudos to her on that one too.
Yeah.
Okay, well, talking about futures, like LeBron James, everyone is such a LeBron James fan. And, everyone's like, he's a GOAT and this and this. And, no one really talks about his off the court lifestyle, but he got caught on camera, y'all. And when he was caught on camera, he was caught saying some stuff about, how the NBA needs to move the airport out of Memphis and move it to Nashville because, like, how dare he fly into Memphis, which is one of the like nastiest poverty cities, and that he felt like it needed to be moved somewhere else. And he was on the golf court with a couple of his golf buddies, and none of them were black. And who are you coming from where he came from?
Mm-hmm.
He came from Akron, Ohio,
Right.
which was a very poverty place, and he had to scrounge his way up to the top. And now you want to talk down on circumstances that other people are in? Yeah, that wasn't cool. So did you see that video? Did you hear about it?
I did not hear about it, but that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah,
Because I feel like um LeBron is just kind of at a higher standard than some of the other NBA players, just about like how he, you know, carries himself with his family,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so that's kind of disappointing to hear that like he got him on tape now. Like that's not
Yeah.
good.
He was on camera, like, caught, like, bam. But then he came back and he
Did he
said,
apologize?
no,
Oh,
he didn't
double down.
apologize. No, he did
Oh,
not. He was like, and I said it, feel like they can do better. They need to move it out of that city.
well, let's see. Put your money where your mouth is, and let's help him out.
That
Come
part.
on,
Put your
like
money where your mouth is,
I'm
LeBron.
not.
Like,
If I have that much money, I'm not just gonna go around talking shit about things. Like
yeah.
I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is, and I'm gonna help him out.
Which some people say, he does give back to the community and,
Right.
he did a school and he does certain things.
In that specific place where he was talking about, like,
No,
okay,
no.
well then, mm-mm.
Mm-mm. All right, well, I got one more. You got anything else, or you want me to just go on and spill my tea?
Go ahead, spill your tea.
Okay, so I'm spilling my tea. So I know a lot of guys have been talking about this, and I know it's been a really hot subject. And I just want to tell you, Druski is funny. He is hilarious, and I absolutely love that skit. I thought it was hilarious. I thought he had it down to the T. And I didn't even really know the Erica Kurt. I didn't even really know her like that. I just knew that she was the wife of the deceased.
Right.
But I never followed her or saw any of her
Right.
stuff. But then once he did it and I started look, he had that lady down to a T. He what do you call it when you imitate or whatever someone
Impersonate.
impersonate? He impersonated her to a T. And the funny part was he was like, I didn't even say a name. I didn't even, I just went out there and did this skit and made myself look like this person and everyone else started to chime in.
I see. Yeah.
Um, but I thought it was funny. And I thought like he had did a skit maybe about a month or so before that one and how he was imitating like these mega churches and
Oh my
these
gosh.
pastors like flying down off of these things and dancing
I
around.
did see that one. Some of that stuff does come across my timeline, but the conservative stuff is I try
You
to
block that?
honestly try to like block a lot of like stuff so that way
Yeah.
it's not even on my algorithm. Like I'm like report bye, give it like,
Shut
so
up, not report
no,
back.
seriously, like get off my timeline. Like I don't want this on my algorithm. So
Yeah.
like I'm, keeping my head where it needs to be.
Okay.
So like if I just don't want to see it,
Yeah.
like so that's probably why I have not seen that video, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna find it now because
Yeah, it's hilarious. But he's getting some really backlash from it. Um, and it's because, a lot of people were kind of like, first off, how did he do the white face? Because he painted his face like the white chicks. Then, the fact that, he's imitating her who just
wait.
lost her husband.
So wait, people are mad at the white face.
Yes. So Jake Paul, do you know Jake Paul is the YouTuber who now is the boxer who has the brother?
Okay.
So he's coming back saying he's gonna do a Druski skit and imitate Druski with the
Yikes.
blackface. And he's like, let's see how people like that and what the comeback is on that.
Well, they're
So
not
I'm here.
making white chicks though.
Are they?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't
So
know if they could make it a White Chicks is a
it is
classic.
classic. My kids
So
love that movie.
yeah, it's a classic. And we're so sensitive right now. Like humanity and people are so sensitive. I don't even know how that's gonna play out.
I mean, I feel like it's overly, but like some stuff needed to be addressed. Let's face it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
there's some stuff that was like, okay, you can't just be saying anything to women. Like you need to like do better on
Yeah.
like some things and like I don't know, but
So let me ask you, how do
yeah,
you feel about comedians? Like, so, because back in the day, I even remember when I was like younger, comedians would just say all kinds of crap, like racial stuff and sexual stuff and
yeah,
all kinds of stuff, and no one cared.
that's what we're used to growing up.
Yeah,
But it's in that space of like in a comedy show.
yeah,
So I feel like when you're in that space, anything goes. That's like your art, like really,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I can't get offended.
Well,
It's
that's how the kind of how Drewski is. It's his art.
right,
Like, so
right,
why are people like really getting sensitive and butthurt over it? But like you said, it's our era. We grew up in that.
right.
I think after like the 2000s,
Hmm.
everyone was kind of like, "Oh, you can't say that. You can't do that." Like people hurt people, which is true.
Hmm.
But if it's comedy, you're supposed to just laugh it off or get
Right.
a little pinch and be like, "Oh, that hurt, but okay, that was kind of
If it
funny."
hurt, then it's probably true. Let's be
Facts,
honest. Like,
facts. I'm here for it. I'm ready to see Jake Paul skit so I can laugh. But I hope it's funny. I hope it's not so serious to where it's not
right.
even funny. It takes away from the whole point.
Okay.
So I'm gonna share that with you, girl,
Okay. Yeah.
so you can so it can
I'm
get
gonna
on your
watch it.
algorithm.
I'll have him on my algorithm, just not the other stuff.
Yeah, like I said, I hit Lauren up at the last minute because Network Queen had some things she had to take care of. So I'm gonna keep her in my prayers. Girl, you want to come on my podcast?
I'm like,
She's
anything for you.
Yeah. Now this is my ride or die Capricorn. He
Right.
is down for the ride, and
Too though, like that's the energy like you give your friends. So like
yeah.
you should get that energy back from your
Thank you,
friends.
girl. And I think that's just our Capricorn characteristic too.
Right.
Like we are one of those people. Like we are all in. Either we're in or we're not.
Oh yeah.
Like we
And
don't
if
like to come on
not,
the fence.
you can't make us. Like
We are not one of those people on the fence. We either in or out.
right.
And then if we commit to something, we are 100% committed.
100%.
So I hit her up, and she's like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll do it for you." And I said, "Well, what you want to talk about, girl? What you want to talk about?"
I was like, you're supposed to be the host, girl. Like I'm just here to like chime in. Like, but there are some things that have just like come across my timeline because
Yes,
sometimes my timeline gets a little like
a little fiery,
de-
which we like that every now
yeah.
and then. You need a little spice in your life,
Right.
just a little bit, not too much.
You know what it is? It's threads.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Threads
yeah.
gets like that sometimes. And I don't even go on there often. Like I just get like I'll leave comments and then get notifications later, and I'm like, oh, let me go see what my comment is like.
Uh-uh.
Oh my
You
god,
so let's talk about you be leaving comments on threads?
what's it
Okay.
for?
Well, I don't have threads. So that I be lacking on most of them. So I'm like, if I sign up for another one, like, no, I'm not doing it. But I do be wanting to know what
Well,
people are.
after I kicked Twitter to the curb or X,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I had a little bit of room.
Is anybody still on that?
I know.
I don't either because I don't ever like I'm not on it, so I don't know if anyone's tweeting, but I know somebody who's on it. Your president is on it. He
Is
on
he
there.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought
he's
he's on his
always tweeting.
own thing, like his own social media site, which
Oh
I'm
wait,
glad.
wait. Did he get kicked off of X with him and Elon's
I don't know. I
beef?
don't know.
I know that's a good question. I
That
don't
is a
know.
good
I
question.
just know he recently made some type of comment that everybody was responding on about, bombing a city or civilization or something like that. And so I don't know what he made it on, what platform. I just know people are
It
talking
was
about
on
it.
his True social platform. So yeah, I mean,
So what's
but
his platform? Because I didn't know he had
Truth
his own.
Social. That's the name
Oh,
of it.
True Social.
Truth Social. Yes.
Truth Social.
So apparently, um, there's discussions about if he's unfit to be president because of that comment.
Ah,
But the way that they would have to impeach him or not impeach him, I don't see. I'm not.
look.
Don't get me caught up on your girl. Cause like I haven't done all my studying yet. I'm just getting information from here and there. But in order to remove him, his cabinet would have to vote that he is unfit, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
also the vice president would have to agree to take over.
Mm,
So they're saying that that's likely never going to happen. Like your cabinet of people that you
yeah,
selected to
yeah,
be, yeah,
yeah. That's on your
and then
team.
the vice president also has to agree. So
And but sometimes the vice president and the president relationships aren't always what we think they are. They're not always as buddy buddy, friend
no,
friend.
I don't
You
think
know.
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all just business in
Yes,
the
yes. And
in
that's what
in
it
politics.
is.
Yeah,
It's business. Well, you told me something new. I didn't know Trump had his own platform, so that's
but good.
interesting.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, and I
You know,
don't
like
follow and I won't. I
right,
won't. And I can't.
right.
Anyway, so our topic, let's not get off the
Okay,
subject. Our
sorry,
topic
girl.
today is, are you present or are you not as a father in 2026? And what does that look like? So we kind of want to dig into baby daddies. We all got them. At least most of us do, and some of us don't. Kudos to you. But baby daddies. Okay. So what is the meaning of a baby daddy? What is when somebody say that's just my baby daddy? What do you think when
The
they say
meaning
that?
of a baby daddy. I mean, it's the person that you had a baby with.
Yeah, but some guys get offended. Like if the girl says, "That's my baby daddy," what do you mean? Your baby daddy. I'm the father of your children.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
your
I mean, as a technical way to say it, he's the father of my children, but everybody says it the same way, baby daddy.
yeah.
It's
But I
like
think baby daddy sometimes carries this negative,
negative.
yeah, negative like meaning
Hmm.
to it. So like,
If it does, then that's on the guys
mm,
because you guys are the one carrying the title, so you have the ability to make it what it is.
uh
And
oh,
if it's negative, that's because y'all are not doing what you're supposed to be doing
uh
over
oh,
there. But
oh.
see, girl, I'm trying not to say crazy stuff, but like I do have no children.
This topic may, it may ruffle some feathers, and it's a
Right.
topic that a lot of people try to dance around because, unfortunately, when you do have a baby daddy or a father
Mhm.
of your children, you try to keep a cordial relationship. You try to keep the atmosphere kind of like light and energy because it affects the children.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, how you have a relationship with your baby daddy does impact your kids.
Right.
And so, most of the time, you want to keep that relationship kind of healthy
Right.
so it doesn't ruffle any feathers. But hey, I'm here for it because I just feel like sometimes in relationships, especially with your children, you have to hold people accountable. And
Absolutely.
sometimes accountability is not there.
Right.
Right. So it was like when I looked up, so I like to do research
Okay,
because
good.
I'm a statistics person. So when I looked up, like, how in America today, how many fathers or baby daddies are there out there and why do they have that title? So it said that 1 out of 4 children in the US live without their father in the home. And so that means like 1 out of 4, girl.
That's so heartbreaking to me because I grew up with my dad. Well,
Yeah, I know you
so
did.
I can't even imagine. And like, I mean, my kids, we've had situations where we haven't both been together. So I mean, and but I will say that he has been around.
Yeah,
He's always been able to like just come in our house and like hang out. He's been invited to all of the things,
yeah.
all the time. It's an open invitation.
So
Like
he's definitely present. He's
he's
definitely
present,
present. Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it wasn't like even though he wasn't living there, he could come and tell them good night. He could do whatever he wanted. That I was never gonna keep him away from the kids. That's not.
Being present. Of
Mhm.
course, with the children, of course, they see the love of a parent by being present and the attention and actually being there. They don't really see the other side of it that we see sometimes as the co-parent,
Mm,
and that's the financial piece of it.
right,
Um, Most of the time, the children just wants to know that their father or their mother is there.
right,
And so that's a huge piece of it, is just being present
and
and being there.
supportive.
Yeah, and supporting your
Supportive. You have
kids.
to show your support, whether it is financially or otherwise, because sometimes kids, you know, the financial thing can be a way to show your support. You know.
So that was the thing. It had
Uh-huh.
3 areas of like concern when it came to like being a baby daddy or a father financially. It doesn't mean you're there financially, but you're lacking consistency with being available for the children.
Hmm.
Or are you struggling financially, but you're
Hmm.
showing up mentally, physically for them?
Right.
Those are some things. Or the last one or not least, but are you there, but you're not there? You're worried about everything else, social media, be hanging out with your boys, doing all this,
Mm,
but you're not there.
right.
So it came up with those reasons that you can still be a baby daddy.
Right.
You can still be a father and not presently be there mentally, not presently be there financially. But being there consistently makes the biggest difference
Right.
when it comes to the children. So I had a question for you, girl.
Okay.
And my question was, at what point do you start telling your other person, you know, enough is enough? Stop making excuses. Show up or
Immediately. Immediately, as soon as. But I mean, you have to hear me. I'm not going to continue to repeat myself. But if I see that you're not doing something that you should be doing, I'm calling you on it immediately because those are my babies,
yeah.
and you're not just going to treat my babies any kind of way.
Okay.
Nobody, not nobody. You're not above anybody, and especially their father. They need you just as much as they need me. Like
Yeah.
you're number two.
Yeah.
I'm number one. I'm number
Okay.
two.
Mama's
But
always number 1 if you didn't
right,
know.
if you didn't know, now you know.
Yeah, if there's a situation, right, where something happens
Mhm.
with you and the father of your children, and you're kind of like, should I say something to him or should I not say something or should I see how it play out? Do you immediately just say something and just like, hey, you're not doing this, or the girl said this, or I feel this way, or do you just wait and kind of see how it plays out because you
I
don't want to?
Yeah, I try to keep the peace
Yeah, yeah,
as long as possible. But then there comes a point where I'm just like, no. Like again, if you're doing wrong to my children, then I'm gonna tell you by yourself. Like you're
yeah.
not just gonna treat them in a kind of way or act like, I need the best to show up 24/7 for
Hmm.
them.
That part.
And if you're not gonna be your best, then you need to let me know so we can work something out. You know?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I understand like there's times where like there's times when I haven't been the best as a mother, and like I appreciate those times when he stepped up and like took the reins and like was able to do what he was able to do
Yeah.
in those situations. So, but there needs to be communication and there needs to be understanding and a lot of communication, healthy
Preach that.
communication, not arguing.
Not the yelling at each other, talking
Right.
at each other's face.
Hmm.
I do preach that a lot. Like communication will solve half of the issues most relationships have.
Right.
It's just being open and honest and respectable. Like you said, you want to keep the peace. If you do
Right.
have to communicate something, you want. And girl, I'm the biggest person at this. I kind of got to play things out in my head. I got to walk myself through and say, okay, Brandon, don't say it like that. Try this. Okay, Brandon, don't say it like that. Let's go at it like this, because
Right.
sometimes I vomit at the mouth and I just say
I'm
the first thing that
my
came
gosh.
out.
Right. Right.
So I have to be like, okay, that's probably not going to get the best,
Exactly. To get the
response you're
best
looking for.
outcome. So we need to be
Yeah.
strategic about what we're saying. And then also you have to consider like who you're saying it to. So like my kid's dad, will like act like he's hearing me, but then like later he's like, it's like it's gone on deaf ears. So I'm always like, okay, well, what's gonna sit with him?
Mm,
When I bring this to you, like this, look at your children. Like
mm.
this is what's happening. And we've had those conversations. But again, I'm not gonna continue to have those conversations with you if you're not going to be responsive, because
Yeah.
then I'm just wasting my time, wasting your time, and I'd rather just.
Do it. Now, are you one of those people that just do it? Like if you're not getting what you need from
Mm,
that person, you just do it?
right, yeah. I mean, for what? I'm not gonna waste my energy.
Yeah.
Like you
I
can't.
am definitely one of
I
those
told
people.
you what I needed to tell you, so it's up to you to figure it out at that point.
Yeah. I'm definitely one of those people. I just do it but it's bit me in the butt to where at that point they expected me to do it. So now that I'm
Mm.
just kind of just doing it, they're like, "Oh, she doing it. She don't need me. She got it." And it's like, I really don't, but you weren't stepping up, so now I have to do it.
Right.
Come on. So I've come to the conclusion that, and if I could tell any other, girl out there that's dealing with a father who,
Right.
isn't doing their part, don't just let him off and just do it because then they get comfortable and say, "Oh, she's doing it. I don't need to do it. I don't need to
True.
try to do it anymore."
Very true, but also there's a certain power that comes with being able to do it yourself, because we are more than capable of, and women do it all the time.
Hmm.
That just don't have men or don't have men showing up for them and their kids. So you can do it yourself. There's no reason why you can't. And if he's not willing to like listen or contribute, girl, do that yourself. You can do it. There's no reason why you can't. It's hard, but you're gonna get through it, and you're gonna be better for it. You're just like
Yeah.
you become stronger as a person when you realize what you can take on.
When you do realize you can do it by
Hmm.
yourself, then you have this superpower that just kicks in.
Yeah,
You're like,
and then you're like, who is gonna come in here and like actually make this better? Because right now I'm doing it on my own. Like I really don't need any help
hmm,
unless you're gonna come in, and that's where you get people that you positive relationships into your life where you're like, okay, what positive are you gonna bring to my life?
right.
Because I'm already doing well. I'm doing it
Yeah.
on my own. So bring something positive, or I can continue to do it on my
Hmm.
I could do bad on my myself,
Yeah.
essentially, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But we need the help. We want the help. So guys, step up.
And that screenshot you sent me that
Mhm.
the father who was saying, "Hey," because he can't do what he needs to do and he really wants to, and the child is looking at him like, "Dad." When I read that, I was kind of like, "Ooh, that's a tough one," because
Really?
yeah, because here's the thing. You know your responsibilities, and
Hmm.
you know what you're supposed to do. And yeah, we do fall short, but you already knew this was something you needed to do. So
Right.
why didn't you already go to your sources? Because it takes a village. It
Right.
does take a village to raise a child. So a lot of times you have your village, your sources, your mom, your dad, your
Hmm.
sisters, anyone who you can lean on and to say, "Hey,
Right.
I need this help. Do you think you can help me out? Because I don't want her not to be able to participate in this and do this."
Right.
So it's like before you come to me telling me, "Hey, I can't do this. I feel bad." Have you kind of went to your sources and exhausted your means before you
Right.
did that? So when I read that, I was like, "Ooh, what all has he done to try to do it before he came to you telling you he couldn't?" Based off of that.
Hmm. I would assume that he had, because who wants to come and ask their or
Girl,
tell
don't
them
assume.
who wants to let their child down? I Nobody wants to let their child down. I feel like sure they shouldn't want to. Like that's horrible. But for
I've seen
me,
some crazy things done by you'd be surprised.
that's sad. That
Yeah.
breaks my heart for the kids. Like don't hurt the kids. Like that's my whole thing. Like oh my gosh, it just like it hurts me to see a child hurt like that. Like
Yeah.
and even if it's not my child, I'm always just like everybody needs to be happy.
Yeah. I wish. But some
Yeah.
children, have to suffer because of the selfishness of the parents.
Yeah.
The selfishness or the irresponsibility of the parents, and so it does put more on the other parent.
Right.
And then, we're overcompensating. It's
Right,
women,
right,
it's men too. You have some men out there that are having to act like the baby mama.
right.
They're having to overcompensate and do things that because they don't have the help from the other, co-parent. And so
Mhm.
now they're having to feel the wrath of what, a lot of women have felt for years. And so there are dads out there that have custody of their children
Right,
that are having to step up and kind of do that, and they don't have the baby mama out there helping. So,
right.
it can be on the flip side too. You know,
Absolutely.
5% of spousals, like co-parents who have the custody of the children. So only 45% of the parents that are uh out there supporting their children are only getting support from the other spouse or the other co-parents. So that means that 45%, so 55% of parents that are out there doing it by themselves do not have the financial support of the other co-parent. So 55% of the women or dads are out there doing it by themselves.
Why? Why do you think that is?
That's a good question. Uh
That's a high number.
55% are doing it by themselves.
My God.
So there's more people doing it by themselves than there
Praying
is
for all of
getting
those people.
getting help.
Literally, that's crazy.
Yeah. And so when I read that, so I came from a single parent household. And being in a single parent household, I saw what it was like to have a mother who was like working all the time,
Mhm.
to make sure she was able to support us. But there was some good that came out of it because it taught me
Right.
how to work. It taught
Mhm.
me how to be a strong woman and like don't depend on anyone else. Know that I have to go out there and get it. And she just built work ethic in all of us,
Right.
you know.
Good.
And so that was the strong part of it. But it did also, on the flip side, had me out there lacking the fatherly advice, fatherly love, and things like that that all children need. I
Mhm.
promise you, all children need that father figure in their life, whether he's in that household
Right.
or whether he's just involved. They
Involved. Yeah.
need it. It's so important. Men, if you're hearing this and if you know anyone, any male who really thinks that he is not playing a part in his child's life, I guarantee you they need you. I guarantee they want you to be a part of their lives. Like it's so important to be there for your children. But then they said that here's some statistics where when fathers aren't in the children's lives, 2 times more are likely to drop out of school. So 2 times the kids who don't have the father in their household are 2 times more likely to drop out. And they're most likely or more likely to experience emotional damage than other people, like anxiety or depression or things like that, because they feel like they're lacking something, they're missing something in their lives, which they are. They're missing that other part of them, the other person who makes them. You know, I couldn't imagine not, walking around not even knowing the other half of me,
Right.
like the other part of where I came from.
I'm so sorry, Brady. Like, I just want to like hug you right now because I don't know how that is because I
Yeah, yeah,
had
yeah,
my dad and he was really present and always having conversations with me
yeah.
and always there, just like whatever you need. I'm
So
girl.
you can
I put my
speak on
dad through a
that.
lot of mess
So you
and
can speak on the positivity of
right,
having that male there in your life and
right.
what that did for
Oh
you.
my
Like,
gosh. I
well,
mean,
how
still
did you
I was messy. I wasn't like the best, but yeah, just having knowing that like no matter what, no matter where my dad could be across the world. He gonna answer the phone for me.
really?
Yes, like
And your dad was a girl's dad, right? He had all girls.
all girls, 3 girls. Yes.
Yeah, and so he was still like actively present with you ladies.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
So how did that feel like when you would like get in trouble or you're like mom said this, dad said this? How did that play out in you guys' household?
Um well, first of all, I knew when to ask my dad for things.
Mm,
'Cause
that
my
part.
dad would be like watching the Lakers and like not wanting or watching the Rams and like I'd be like, this is the time. I'd be like,
You
okay,
could get a yes
yeah,
then, especially if they
can't
were
go
winning.
goodbye. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm watching the game. So like I definitely knew like when to like, you know, um get what I wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I was in trouble, what was the question again? Repeat it.
How was it like
Mhm.
growing up with your mom and dad and knowing like when to turn to mom, when to turn to dad? battling between the 2,
I
and how
was
did
more
dad take.
always comfortable going to my dad because his reaction wasn't as harsh as my mom's.
Mhm.
So I knew, like, it was easier to talk to my dad,
Yeah.
than it was my mom. He didn't have as much, like, um, judgment. Of course, he'd be, like, disappointed, but it wouldn't, like, show immediately. Like, if you tell my mom something, like, she's gonna be like, "What?" Like,
Yeah, 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 that's a typical mom's
it was
response.
still mom response, and I kinda learned myself, like, okay, we can't, like, they're gonna tell me sometimes my kids say some crazy stuff, and I'm
Oh,
just
yeah,
like,
I love your
"Oh
girls. They
my
are
gosh," like,
very
some they
open
have
and
no filter with
honest.
me, and I'm just like, "Okay," like, "Don't freak out," like, they just told you something, like, that's crazy, but, like, okay, let's process it, okay,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
let's talk about it, you know? So, like, I try not to
So
be,
you
like, so
learned that
reactive
from your
because I
mom.
don't want them to be, like, not coming to me when they need something because
Yeah.
you know, they kids need different people in their lives who they can trust, and sometimes that's not always a mom, that's not always a dad, maybe it's an aunt, maybe
Mhm.
it's a cousin, maybe it's an older sibling that they feel comfortable. They need somebody that they can go to.
Yeah.
So I try to be that, and I know I'm not, gonna be the one that hears everything all the time, but I feel like I try to be
Oh, I think your
open.
girls are very comfortable with you and very
I hope
open with
they
you when
are.
it comes to things. Yeah, yeah. Because you're a very welcoming spirit.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Try to
and
be.
when you have that aura around you, people feel comfortable, like, sharing
Thanks.
and not feeling like they're being judged, like that part. So, and that did that come from your dad?
I have yeah, well, my grandma.
Okay.
My grandma, was real and my grandparents, both of them were real big on, like, everybody's equal, you're not better than anybody else, like, they really instilled that in me, and I spent a lot of time with with my grandparents because my parents did work a lot
Okay.
growing up, so they were the ones that really instilled to not be judgmental and to, like, not judge every book by its cover
Yeah.
and
Yeah, yeah.
give everybody a fair chance, and sometimes I do to a fault, I think,
Yes.
and I just wanna see the best in everybody, and I really, really try
Yeah.
because there is
Well,
good in
that's a
everybody.
good characteristic to have, though, because
Right.
just imagine walking around judging people all the time. Like, that has
People
to
do
be
it all
hard.
the time.
You said people do?
Mhm.
Yeah, it has to be hard to, like, walk around like that.
I just feel like it's like you have like you're carrying like hate for people by like having that, you know, I mean a good example is like in Frisco right now. Um there's been like an influx of Indian people
Oh, okay, yeah.
a lot and it's been really crazy with people and just like people are not having it. They're not liking
So they're
it.
making comments and posting
They're
stuff?
going to, like, the city council and complaining about it, like, that there needs to be, like, change or they don't need to be so many, like, businesses and, like, what's going on with the city, and, like, other hand, they're not
Now that
all
could
the
be a whole nother
same.
conversation for me
It
because 'cause I'm
could
like,
be a
I
whole
wanna
other
know what are they saying and why are they saying it and how
it's all over the social media, girl. You can go on
over, like, if I just Google
City of
Frisco.
Frisco, like, the council meetings are there, like, the comments are there, it's really crazy right now.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, like, okay, yeah, I'll have like a negative encounter, and
You
then
said
at
encounter.
at the same time, I'll get like a positive one. Like, so
Yeah.
I feel like maybe God is like telling me, like, Lauren, you can't just be like, even though sometimes it's really aggravating, you're like, oh, like, like, but there's always someone else that's, there's, you can't
There's a
judge
silver
everybody.
lining in everything, and so you
Exactly.
gotta find
Thank you.
that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, definitely. That's my jam. I'm like, I never want to feel like completely negative about anything. I'm always trying to like look for the good in everything.
Yeah, to a flaw, you said.
To a flaw.
Yeah, I'm a very, like, forgiving person, and that's my thing is, like,
Mhm.
won't let someone do to me,
Mhm.
like, stick on me because 'cause I'm like, people make mistakes.
Right.
People are, human.
Mhm.
And, if they're dealing with something, maybe they don't know how to deal with you. So you have
Right.
to give them grace. And so I was talking to this lady one time and I was like, yeah, I feel like people need grace or whatever. And she's like, oh no. She's like, people know what they're doing, and people have too many sources and too many ways to realize what they're doing and fix it.
Mhm.
She's like, if you keep giving people grace on the mistakes and the things they're doing, they're going to keep doing it.
It depends on how many mistakes you're making and like the nature of those mistakes. For
True.
me, anyways, like I am forgiving as well, and I just feel like it's easier to love somebody than it is
Yeah.
to like have an enemy. And I tell my kids this
Yeah.
all the time. I'm like, okay, you're not meshing well with this person. I know that, but like it's gonna be easier just to be friendly and cordial and like keep the peace than have that friction and hate
Oh,
and
I'm
like
different when it comes to my kids. I'd be like, "Oh no, don't deal with her. Just cut her off, girl. Mm-mm. Nope, nope, nope. If somebody show you who they are, believe that's who they
but
are.
I also try to make them understand that, that person is that way
Yeah, for a
for a
reason.
reason and
Yeah.
we don't know what that
Try to be that person who maybe they can feel comfortable with sharing so that they can let that out. So that
that's what I try to
yeah,
explain to them, like they're doing this, they're acting that way, maybe it's not completely towards you. I mean,
yeah,
it could be wrong there, that just could be their personality, but
yeah.
give people the benefit of the doubt first and don't judge off top. I'm always give them a chance.
Yeah. So I think that we really touched on some really good topics and, kind of discuss it. But there was one last thing that it kept saying in like my research.
Uh-huh.
And it was like a lot of people, or I don't even want to say people, but a lot of women feel like if the guy is not there financially, they're not a good dad. Like money, if they're not doing what they need to do for the kid financially or have money, then they're not a good dad. Even if they show up, even if they're
Mm,
there, even if they're present, even if they love those kids down, they're not a good dad.
I hate that. I
Yeah.
don't like that.
And so I try to think like, what does that create in that kid's mind?
Mhm.
Like, of course, the parent may think something because of either the past relationship or trauma or circumstances they've had.
Right.
But what about the kid?
They're so impressionable. Um,
Yes, very.
so they're gonna go off of whatever you're showing them. So
Hmm.
if you're showing them that that's all he's good for, then that's what they're gonna treat him as, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because there's so many, like you said, ways that we need our dad, not just financially.
Yeah.
Um,
It showed up multiple times, and I was like, "Dang, like, do people really think that a dad is only good for financial support when he's not in the house?"
no, I don't think that. But I'm sure there are women that may think that. That's sad.
Yeah, as we both know, having adult children as they're crossing into adulthood, I
Hmm.
feel like they need their parents even more.
Oh my gosh,
And so it's
they
more,
do
yeah.
actually.
So it's even more important for that dad to show up and be there, like, even just because the world can be like a really harsh, crazy place. And maybe you just need to come and lay on your dad's shoulder.
And you know what, too? I think it's hard for those older children when they see other people's parents
Hmm.
showing up and consistently being there, and other dads consistently being there, and then yours is just not.
Mm.
That's very hurtful, I think. So
Do you think the older children get to the point where they express that to the dad, or they still kind of like because it's their dad, they don't want to like offend him or cause any ruffle between them and their father?
they should they should say that. There should, there has to be open communication, and that person has to be open to hearing and receiving that information. Even though it's gonna
Yeah,
be hard.
yeah,
Um, you should never like turn down your kid wanting to tell you something or being open with you, and you have to listen to them because every kid is different. One kid may need you in a certain way, and every kid is different. You know, um, it just depends, and have those open conversations with your kids so that way you understand how you can help, be a part of their life and what they need from you.
yeah. Because I know some parents who will not hear their kids out and feel like if their kids express anything against them, they're
I feel like that's
disrespectful.
an older generation
Yes,
trait,
very much
generational
so. And
trait.
it's like, get out of your own way.
Mhm.
If you can't hear the future and what they have to say, because I guarantee they're way smarter than us.
Oh my
They
god, I
have,
can't wait for them to take over. I'm like, y'all, no, seriously, I think these kids are just gonna like blow it out of the water because our shit is so messed up right now. Excuse me, but like it is so messed up. We need them. We
they're so
need you
smart and innovative,
young
way
kids to
beyond
come over
us.
and fix it all up,
Yeah.
make it all better, be open minded, have a big heart, don't judge people, and
Yeah.
make it better. I think,
Because the way
and have new
they love
ideas.
differently. They love differently
Yeah,
too.
speak
Like,
up and give your ideas, and hopefully no one shoots them down. Like, if it, I hate that a lot of older generations are like, well, this is how it always has been, and what you're
yeah.
doing is not working.
Yeah, it's not
So
working.
let's fix
Like,
it.
but girl, I'm so glad you came on. I'm so glad
Thank
we were able
you.
to touch on this topic. Like I said, I just think the fact of, you know, there's a lot of conversations that are hard to have.
Mhm.
A lot of conversations that people just don't feel comfortable having. But, when you put them on a platform and they get the courage or they hear something that, triggers them and say, hey, that I'm going to share that with my baby daddy. I'm going to share this
Right.
with him so he can hear I'm not the only one that feel like this, or I'm not the only woman out there that's struggling, with just being able to say, hey, I need help. I need you to step up. I need you.
No, though. You should see that girl doing everything on her own and be able to see it with your own eyes and understand, like, that is not easy. So, like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to be told, like, I mean, actually give him the child for, like, a weekend and see how he does. So, maybe he can't be told. Maybe he needs to understand by, like, being in the thick of it to
And then that's where
understand.
that phone call comes and says, "I can't do this. I need you to come over and
Exactly.
pick her up. She's driving me." Like, but guys, if this hits home and you want to share this episode with someone, please share it. Follow, even comment and let us know your thoughts. Give us your experience on what you think, because not everybody has the same experience when it comes to the father of their children. Some people have an amazing experience, and some people have the worst. So we'd like to hear from you. And Lauren, some hand clap for showing up and being here and sharing. Like, thank you again for coming. All right, though, that's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.